On the 16th of June 1961, a young Masaya Matsura was born into the world, and then 38 years later, he made this thing. Vib Ribbon is a rhythm game where you play as a vector-based rabbit using different buttons to clear obstacles in the course in time with the music you hear in the stage. Pretty simple rhythm game affair. You get more points for doing well, and you get less points for doing less well, and then you die. So, why are you currently watching a video on the Okie Cokie channel, of all things, about this game? It's actually really simple. You see,
This game has taken over my life.
and I just need to get it all out because I'm seriously going to tweak out. You do not understand the absolute, excuse the pun here, rabbit hole this game has sent me down. When I asked you all about doing a Vib Ribbon autism dump video, I got a surprising amount of positive feedback. You all clearly want to hear me vomit all over the table about this game. So without further ado, here is my Vib Ribbon autism dump. I don't know how I'm going to structure this video. I guess I just list off trivia one at a time. I hope that sorts itself out as I'm writing the script. If you're watching this video, I'm going to assume you already have a basic understanding of how the game works, and if you don't, well, that's why they made a tutorial song. I'm also not going to go into reviewing the game, as plenty of people have already done that. If you want a review of this game from me though, well, it's good. There you go. Vib Ribbon was released on the PS1, and it was developed by Nana Onsha, who you may know as the developers of Parappa the Rapper and Jamalami. The main selling point of this game was that you can put in any CD you have into the PS1's disc slots, and thanks to the PS1 cleverly fitting the game's mechanics into its 2 MB RAM, you can play a fully custom level, and the obstacles even sync up with the music. Is that not cool as hell? The game released in Japan on the 9th of December 1999, and in Europe on the 30th of August 2000, and in North America, never! Yeah, for whatever reason, this game only initially released in Japan and Europe. It wasn't until the 7th of October 2014 when the game was ported to the PlayStation Network on PS3, PSP, and PS Vita that Americans finally got to experience this indisputable peak. It has since not released on the PS4 or PS5, so fun fact. The reason it took until 2014 for Vib Ribbon to release in North America was actually because Sony had no idea it didn't release there initially. At E3 2014, the then CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment America, Sean Layden, referenced the game before showing gameplay footage of Mortal Kombat X.
Vib Ribbon was unafraid to go against the tide. It was courageous in its ambition. One of the first games we localized was Mortal Kombat 3 on PS1. That's why it's a tremendous pleasure and a unique thrill for me to introduce on this stage the worldwide premiere of gameplay footage for Mortal Kombat X.
Fans of Vib Ribbon, understandably, misinterpreted this as a North American port of the game being underway, which it wasn't. Sean Layden wasn't even aware of it never even releasing in North America. Now, of course, the fans of Vib Ribbon were not happy about this, so to make it up to them, Sean Layden asked his team to produce a North American port of the game for PlayStation Network. So, everything worked out in the end. I'll leave a link in the description where you can read more about this. It's a really funny story, actually. By the way, can we stop to just admire and gush about this game's protagonist, Vibri? Because just look at her. This is absolute peak character design, if you ask me. They managed to make her so simple, yet so distinct, and so goddamn adorable, it makes me envious. And also, I relate to her on a spiritual level. She's literally me. Like, and not a face reveal or anything, but this is kind of what I look like. Vibri also has 4 forms which correspond to how good or bad you're doing. You have your standard rabbit Vibri, and then if you make too many mistakes in a level, you become a frog, and then below that, you become a worm. If you manage to do well and make your way back up and get to the highest ranking, you become a literal queen and you get a crown and wings, and that's really cool. Also, I don't think it's any coincidence at all that this game and Parappa the Rapper have the exact same ranking system. You start on the second highest in both games. Let's talk about the music in this game. Some of the music not tied in with the actual gameplay were composed by Masaya Matsura, the main developer of the game and founder of Nana Onsha. These songs include the title and menu loops, the tutorial song, and the little tune Vibri sings if you get a new high score. When making tracks for the actual game, though, Matsura was like, yeah man, I'm not doing this myself. So he commissioned a J-pop group known as Laugh and Peace to compose tracks for the game. And the soundtrack for this game is so good. I'm being so for real, Laugh and Peace. You did not have to cook so damn hard. It's a rhythm game made entirely of lines. I'll spare you most of the details because I seriously recommend you give the soundtrack a listen for yourself and form your own opinions, but each and every one of these tracks goes so unfathomably hard, and it's genuinely unlike any video game soundtrack. Heck, any piece of written music in general I've ever heard in my life. That being said, some tracks in this game are better than others, so I'll give you a quick ranking. That's right, I've become a top 10 channel. This is what this fixation has degraded me to. Number 6, Universal Dance. There is nothing wrong with this track, but it's just the most normal out of all of them and doesn't have much special going on with it. Number 5, Polaroid. There is also nothing wrong with this track, but it's just not as memorable to me. I will give it an edge over Universal Dance though, because I love all the camera shutter sounds. They make my brain itch. Number 4, Roll Along. This is where the soundtrack properly gets good. The tempo changes in this song are insane, and I also love that one harmonica solo. That goes so hard. Number 3, Sunny Day. This is probably the track that immediately comes to mind as soon as I think of Vib Ribbon. It just feels like the perfect summary of what this game is like. Number 2, Overflowing Emotions. This is probably the game's most unique track, with the simple guitar riff at the beginning and then all the complex melodies and rhythms coming in afterwards. This track was my favorite at some point, but honestly, it just barely gets beaten out by number 1, Laugh and Peace. Yes, this song is named after the group themselves. Don't just roll with it. Yo, the beats are strong, but the night is long. There was also a vinyl record of the Vib Ribbon soundtrack, which released in 2020, and it features an extra track called Rainbow, which ended up going completely unused in the main game, and this song makes me cry. Let's talk about the follow-ups this game had that both released on the PS2. In 2003, they made a spin-off of Vib Ribbon called Mojib-ribbon. In this game, you play as Mojibri, and you use his brush to write Japanese lyrics in time as he raps along to them. The soundtrack for this game was also composed by Laugh and Peace, and they also bang. It's much more hip-hop orientated, which is right up my alley, as some of you may know. You can also make custom levels by entering your own combination of Japanese kana characters to make lyrics. I think, at least. I haven't looked into it really, but I don't feel like doing any more research for this video. I've done too much already. In 2004, they made a full-on sequel to Vib Ribbon called vib-ripple, where you play as Vibri again, and you have to bounce on images to find these little pixel things known as peta characters, while avoiding these little critters known as boonchies. I don't know. This was more of an action puzzle game rather than a rhythm game, and I'm not personally as big of a fan of it as Vib Ribbon. This is also the only game in the Vib Ribbon franchise to not have soundtrack composed by Laugh and Peace. All of the soundtrack in this game was composed by Masaya Matsura, and it goes for more of a bossa nova type feel. Not my favorite, but it's still pretty good. You can play custom levels in this game too. By plugging in a USB camera into the PS2, you can use photos on the camera and play with them in the game, which is cool. And all of this makes me wonder if, say, the Vib Ribbon franchise did continue on from here, would future games continue this trend of allowing people to play custom levels? Because I'd be so up for that. But unfortunately, we live in a world where this was the last Vib Ribbon game we got. Both of these additions to the Vib Ribbon franchise only ever released in Japan, which is a shame because I would have loved to see how these games would have done internationally. And there is of course no European localization for either of these games, unlike Vib Ribbon. This makes sense for a game like mojib-ribbon though, as that game is entirely based on Japanese text. I don't even think it would be possible to localize it. Let's end off this video by talking about some extra lovely and obscure pieces of Vib Ribbon media. Vib Ribbon used to have an official website, vib-ripple.com, and I say used to because if you try to visit the website nowadays, it looks like this. However, thanks to a bit of Wayback machine magic, you can still see the original site. So let's go do that right now. Alright, so here we are on vib-ripple.com on the Wayback machine. This capture is from October 19th, 2003. So a little over 21 years ago. We have this lovely picture of Vibri here. Let's select English. And it pops out a flash player thing on a new page. She's winking. Lovely shape tween there. Yeah, you can tell this is made in Flash. Yeah, so here we are. I'm gonna turn the music off for now. So here we are. Yeah, this is the main page. There's a lot to unpack here. Who is Vibri? Here comes Vibri, the coolest bunny on the block. A mean little mover. Vibri loves to skip and jump to music as she meanders along the Vib Ribbon, and Vibri the rabbit may soon devolve into Vibri the frog. Can your bunny bounce to the beat and become a beautiful winged princess? But most of these elements here, most of these graphics here are clickable. Release information. Vib Ribbon is due for release in Europe on the 30th of August 2000. Yes, it was. Music interaction. Load the game, follow the beat. Make the jump, this is neat. That's fire, that's bars right there. What is she doing? What is she doing, bro? What the hell? Game controls. Yep, it tells you how to play the game. That's cool. A competition. Oh yeah, there was a competition, right? Yeah, win this cool Vib Ribbon Hawaiian shirt. Daniel Poole, well-known London-based clothes designer, has created this Vib Ribbon Hawaiian shirt. This summer's must-have item. It could be yours. We have 10 to give away. Simply click on the shirt and reach the entry form. People still have this shirt. You can look it up. I saw a post on Reddit where someone still had this shirt from the competition, and like, oh my god, I need it. It's so good. It's absolute drip, and I need it in my life. But unfortunately, there's literally only 10 of them in existence. So yeah, it's not gonna be cheap getting one of those. Vibri Vision. Masaya Matsura is the world-famous creator of Parappa the Rapper and Jamalami. I already said that early in the video. Yeah, there's a lot of information here that I don't feel like reading, so you guys can pause and read it for yourself. Have fun. That's cool. Movie downloads. Vib Ribbon can be played with any music CD. Yeah, we know that. I would like to play these videos, but I don't think I can because of copyright. So, you guys will just have to look for this for yourself, I think. Wallpapers. Oh yeah, there's wallpapers. Your computer screen is most likely to be set at 1024x768. That's how you can tell this is an old website. Like, when was the last time you used a computer with 1024 by 768 resolution? These wallpapers are actually pretty cool. Yeah, this is cool. I like these. If I was into Vib Ribbon at the time, I would have absolutely used these wallpapers. These are sick. What else do we have? Screenshots. I think these are just screenshots of the game. So, why does this look different?
Why does this look different from the actual game? That's weird. This looks like more higher resolution. Wonder why that is. Whatever. Vibri music vibe. This allows you to just play the soundtrack from the game, which is cool. And it plays them in raw SWF audio quality. You can of course turn it off. So yeah, that's the Vib Ribbon website. This is official, I'm pretty sure at least. I'm pretty sure this is an official website by Sony, and I like that. That's really cool.
There's also a Vib Ribbon art book, which came out in 2000, featuring many drawings of Vibri and her interacting with other characters. The Nana Onsha website said at the time that the book was supposed to give you a peek inside Vibri's head, which I can totally concur. Again, I won't go into much detail about it, as I recommend you check it out for yourself, but there are many depictions of emotions and feelings that Vibri experiences. From my understanding of the English translation, the book also teaches a lot of Japanese onomatopoeias. I could be wrong there though, so don't take my word for it. The book also comes with 3D glasses. What are those for? Well, at the top left and bottom left side of each page, there are 2 flipbook animations in Anaglyph 3D, which is actually really cool. This book has far too many drawings for me to show in this video, so I'm just going to show a montage of my favorites. I think that's a good place to leave it for today. Thanks for watching my Vib Ribbon autism dump. This has been a long time coming, but I've been busy lately with college and finishing other personal projects, and during the process of writing the script for this video, I kept finding out new things about the franchise, and I eventually just had to stop for a moment because otherwise this video would be too long. Have a lovely sunny day. Don't forget to laugh and show peace to your peers. Roll alongside them, maybe have a little universal dance, or take photos on your Polaroid. And if you ever feel those overflowing emotions, take a moment to see the world over the rainbow. Goodbye!